Speeches, speeches, and more speeches. We shoot a lot of them in politics, and surprisingly, they aren't as easy to cover as you might think. Hi, I'm David Ake with AP Photos. On the trail last week, McCain worked the Midwest while Obama, you guessed it, delivered a series of speeches in advance of his international trip. And let's face it, a man standing behind the podium does not give a photographer much to work with. So if you want to make something different, you got to move around a little.
Let's start with Barack Obama's speech on Iraq. Pablo Martinez Monsivas shot the straight-on position looking for the peak moment, while Jay Hong worked his way around behind the background of flags to make this frame as the senator is introduced. Obama also addressed the NAACP convention. Jay shot the usual headshots here too, but then once again worked his way around behind the candidate to make this image of him shaking hands afterwards. Obama made yet another speech in Indiana. This time Jay took the side angle and used a window in the background to frame the candidate. He also held a panel discussion in Indiana. As difficult as it is to make something different at a speech, panel discussions are worse. Here Jay combined light and shadow and a side angle for this photograph. Carolyn Castor, traveling with McCain, had it a little easier this week. He held a series of town hall-style rallies where at least he moves around. This frame stood out from the rest, the hand reaching in while McCain listens to a question, combined for a very interesting moment. McCain had his fair share of speeches also. Here, Carolyn used a large television monitor in the background to make a double image of the candidate talking. This is also standard campaign fare. Candidates almost always take a moment to greet folks before getting back on their planes. Carolyn found a way to shoot it that made it at least a little interesting by using long shadows and her wide-angle lens. If you've been watching these slideshows, you know that John McCain spends a lot of time on his cell phone while sitting on the tarmac. This is just a good moment shot by Carolyn Castor as he reacts to a call. McCain also spends a lot of time talking to the press. For this frame, Carolyn backed up to show the TV cameras and give you some context. Otherwise, it would just be another picture of a man at a podium. This happens multiple times a day also. In this case, the sign, the hat, the wave, and the smile all work together for a nice frame, also by Carolyn Castor. After all those speeches, Barack Obama finally arrived in the Middle East. In this picture supplied to the AP by the U.S. Army, the senator sits in an armored vehicle while talking to members of the Army stationed in Kuwait.
We'll have more to show you from Obama's international trip next week. On the Washington Photo Desk, I'm David Ake, Associated Press.